દ્વારકેશ્વર પ્યારે કી જય. બધાયો. Happy New Year to everyone. Shri Nathji, આપણો પહેલો મેન સત્સંગ જાન્યુઆરી શ્રી નાથજી. આપણે શ્રી નાથજીના રૂપ, એનું ડિવાઇન ફોર્મને બ્યુટી ઉપર જોશું, પછી એનું ગુણ, એના બધા ક્વોલિટીઝ ને વર્ચ્યુઝ, પછી આપણે એની લીલાથી એવી બધી ખાસ કરીને ડિવાઇન એક્શન્સ. શ્રી નાથજીનો પરિચય અને એ પહેલાં આપણે મધ્વાચરણ ઇંગ્લિશમાં કરશું. I bow repeatedly to my Guru Sri Vallabhacharya. The particles of his lotus feet destroy all the worries of his followers. I always bow to the lotus feet of Sri Vallabhacharya's son Sri Nathji, Sri Nathji, by whose grace all living beings are relieved of all kind of miseries. I bow down to my Gurudev, who has brightened my eyes blinded by the darkness of ignorance by applying the corellium of knowledge. I bow to Sri Krishna, who is resting on the Seshnat and who is the heart of Sri Vallabhacharya. The Leela is in the form of an ocean on which my heart, Sri Vallabhacharya, is adored by thousands of Lakshmiji devotees, all involved in his Leela. I bow down to the 5 parts of Srimad Bhagavatam's 10th canto. The 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam describes the divine Leelas of Sri Krishna. It's divided into 5 parts. First part is 4 chapters of Janma, Sri Krishna's birth. Second one is 7 chapters of Tamas, Sri Krishna's Tamas Leela, which is further divided into 4 subdivisions. Third one is 7 chapters of Rajas, Sri Krishna's Rajas Leela, which is further divided into 4 chapters. 7 chapters of Satvik Leela, Sri Krishna's Satvik Leela, which is further divided into 3 subdivisions. 6 chapters of Gun, Sri Krishna's divine virtues are his guns. These 5 parts of Sri Krishna reside within my heart. Let's do Pratsmaran. Worship Sri Govardhan Nathji's lotus feet and young Ranamnik Priyaji, who loves fresh butter. Worship eternal Sri Matradis Ji, giver of pleasure, and ever pleased Sri Vitlesh Ji. Adore Sri Dwarkadish Ji, Sri Gokul Nathji, the Lord of Gokul, and Sri Gokul Chandrama Ji, the moon of Gokul. Worship Sri Madan Mohan Ji, the enchanter of even Cupid. Worship Sri Natwa Prabhu, dancing child Krishna, the supreme actor and lover, and the divine infant Sri Balakrishna. Remember Sri Vallabhacharya, his son Sri Vittamnaji, as well as Sri Vittamnaji's 7 sons. Sri Girdarji, Sri Govindji, Sri Balakrishna Lalji, Sri Gokulnathji, Sri Raghunathji, Sri Yadunathji, and Sri Ghanshyamji. Remember their lineage. Remember Sri Yamnaji, remember your own Guru, remember the blessed mountain Sri Giraraji, as well as Sri Krishna, your own Guru worships. Remember your own Sri Thakurji, who you serve at home. Let us now look at Sri Mahaprabhuji's Dhyan. The composition reveals the Leela form of Sri Vallabhacharya. Sri Krishna manifested from his own heart an exceedingly lovely form of Sri Swamiji's secret and loving feminine mood. Then Sri Swamiji manifested the all-attractive male form of Sri Krishna from her heart. These 2 forms then entered the beloved Vallabhacharya and made him not only a nectar-filled combination of both divine forms, but their witness as well. Always contemplate this magnificent 3-fold form of Sri beloved Vallabhacharya. Gopinathji is Sri Mahaprabhuji's elder son, the representative of Sri Vallabh, the storehouse of effulgence, the ocean of compassion who is beyond worldly attributes, the treasure house of transcendental attributes. I take refuge in Sri Gopinathji. Sri Vittamnaji, who is the second son of Sri Mahaprabhuji, Sri Gosainji. Bow to Sri Vittamnaji, son of Sri Vallabhacharya, who sits in a lovely bar at sunset. In front of him are his shining golden vessels for his Sandhya prayers. He is wearing a sacred thread, a delicate cotton dhoti, and a shawl. His face shines like a lotus as he controls his breath by performing pranayama, placing the fingers of his right hand on his nose. His ears are adorned with pearl earrings and his eyes are half closed. His forehead is adorned with a muscular and lovely locks of hair. Let's now look at Shri Krishna's dhyan. This passage is from Srimad Bhagavatam, the Velu Gita. Shri Krishna is adorned with a peacock feather and his ears are graced with flowers. His shawl is brilliant, is the color of brilliant gold. He wears a garland made of forest flowers and appears as the actor husband. He is the Swamiji's choice, their Lord and husband. He fills the holes of his flute with nectar from his lips. His praises are sung as he enters Vandravan surrounded by his cowlet friends. His lotus feet appear splendid and create dance wherever they touch the earth. So who's Shri Nathji? Shri Nathji is Purna Purushottam Bhagavan Sri Krishna himself. It's the Pradhan, the main deity of Pushti Marg. Represents the 7-year-old Shri Krishna. Shri Nathji is Sat, Chit and Anand. Sat is existence, omnipresent, infinite. Chit is knowledge, consciousness, and Anand is bliss. Shri Nathji has all 16 divine qualities, the kalas. The Leelas of Shri Nathji is a subtle mixture of spiritual and material worlds. So Laukik and Alaukik. Wherever Shri Nathji appears, false distinctions are removed. So in the Chatusloki, there is a slok, and I'll pick this slok up from the Chatusloki. Chatusloki is Mahaprabhuji's Soras Granth, number 10. So it says, Prabhu Sarva Samartohi Tata Nischint Tatam Raje. What that means is the Lord Krishna himself will accomplish it. He is capable, all capable indeed. Therefore, one should enter into carefree surrender. So basically, Prabhu is, this is from Brahma Samhita, and normally it's the first slok in the Bhagavad as well. Satchidanand Rupaya Vishwotpatyadi Hetave Tapatra Vinasaya Shri Krishna Vayam Namaha. So what does that mean? We offer our salutations to Sri Krishna, who is the embodiment of eternal existence, consciousness and bliss, the cause of creation, sustenance and dissolution of the universe, and the destroyer of the threefold miseries. Sat is existence, refers to the eternal being Sri Krishna. He is the ultimate reality. He is the Sat. Never ceases to exist, is there all the time. Chit is consciousness, which indicates pure awareness and knowledge. Pure is the key word. Shri Krishna is the source of all intelligence and consciousness. Anand, bliss, represents supreme happiness. Shri Krishna is the embodiment of infinite joy. So if you look at everything generally, Sat is all, everything is Sat. Everything that exists, the chairs, the tables, this is Sat. We human beings are Sat and Chit. So we are real as well as we have a consciousness. We also have a bit of Anand, but the Anand is latent. It's not outwardly there. Prabhu is Sat, Chit and Anand. Prabhu is pure Anand. Prabhu is pure love. So this is the distinction. So what we are sparks of a log. So Prabhu is the log, fire log, and we are all the sparks. We need to remain close to that log in order to continue our spark, and then we can return back to the log. And that's the idea. That's how it all comes together. So in real terms, what that means is that we have to continually maintain doing spiritual duties, do satsang, and continually associate with Vaishnavas and do our prayers and everything, so we are not going too far away from the Lord. We remain close to the Lord, and then hence our spark continues, and then when the spark diminishes, then we go back into the Lord instead of going further away. The other thing we lack is Anand. Why do we lack Anand? Because we not perform our duties as we have. So when we did Brahm Saman, in Brahm Saman mantra, it says that that we have Triyobhav of us, Anand is not there because we haven't got Tat Klesh. We're missing Tat Klesh. Tat Klesh for who? Tat Klesh for Prabhu. To Shri Nathji, we need that Tap and Klesh. So, in order to have that Tap and Klesh, you need to have the knowledge. You need to know what Shri Nathji is like. So, at the moment, if you were looking at a level from 1 to 10, where would your Anand be? In your own mind, just decide where you are at the moment. At the end of the satsang, let's see where that level has gone because you know more about Shri Nathji. You probably already know quite a bit of Shri Nathji, but now that you know more about Shri Nathji, your level of Anand should go up from where it is at the moment. So what you need to do is Mahaprabhuji has told us that in order to increase our Anand, when we have Brahm Saman, we should have a Thakurji. We have a Thakurji at home. That Thakurji is our real Thakurji. We have to really treat him and serve him and dedicate everything to him. And the key thing is, where we saw in the Chatusloki, is Prabhu is Sarva Samart. He is all capable. So you need to totally surrender everything he does for you. He's always guiding you to the right path. Anything that happens which you wanted to happen, it did happen. But why did it not happen? Because it was Prabhu's Icha. That's how you got to have your mindset. And you have to move forward. Some things will be good, something will be bad, but eventually you realize that this is for my own good, Prabhu's looked after me. So that is your total surrender. So if you are totally surrendered, you are completely nischint. Chatusloki says you are completely nischint. So don't worry. Provided you are following Dharam, Arth, Kam, and Moksha. Dharam, always be truthful towards Prabhu and everything. Arth is your money. Use your money towards Prabhu and good deeds. Desires come, direct them to Prabhu, not to your material world or anything. That all your senses, everything, focus on Prabhu. And that's where you need to do it. And then moksha. What is moksha? For Pushti Maharaj, liberation is here, now. Don't wait till you die to go to heaven. Heaven is limited. Heaven, once you use your credits, you're going to come back. You don't want to go to heaven. You're Pushti Maharaj. You've got a Brahm Saman. You want to join Shriji Baba. You want to go into his Leela. You want to be in his Leela all the time. But you are there already. You have got Thakurji at home. What better heaven do you want? You're serving, you're already interacting with Thakurji. So this is your moksha. For Pushti Maharaj, that's our moksha. That's our heaven. We are in heaven already. If you've got Thakurji at home, you're serving him. Serve him all the time. Be dedicated to him. He is your number one priority. Right? If you need to go to work at 9 o'clock, wake up at 4 o'clock, do his seva, do the kram, and then carry on. So that is our real heaven. And that's how you are really happy all the time. And you remain nischint. Don't worry. He's going to look after you. You know, when you leave home, you're worried, will I get there in time or whatever. If you're not meant to get there on time, you have traffic on the way and you don't get on there. Even if you manage to leave early or whatever. So there are certain things which are not in your control. Total surrender. 100% surrender. Thakurji is doing everything for you. That doesn't mean you don't use your intelligence. You have to use your intelligence and follow the rules and regulations. But that is what total surrender is. And if you do that, you'll be in bliss because you've got no worry whatsoever. You're not worried about earning, you're not worried about your children, you're not worried about anything else. Prabhu is looking after it all. Right? And even you have incidences where things go wrong and it's against your will. Put it down to Thakurji's Icha and move on. So that is surrender. Okay, so supreme happiness, Sri Krishna is the embodiment of infinite joy. If you associate with him and dedicate to him, you'll be happy forever. Rup is form, meaning Sri Krishna is Sat Chit and Anand. We are also Sat Chit. Anand is lacking in us. We are also, Prabhu is pure love. Prabhu is Anand. We are made of the 5 elements. Earth, water, fire, space, air. Right? That's what we are. Prabhu is Anand. So when you offer Thakurji bow, and Prabhu is arrowing your bow, doesn't mean it gets less, it gets more. And he's actually looking at arrowing. Don't say he's not eaten or whatever. He's not human. He's pure love. So don't think, oh, this has not got less, that's why it's still there. He has actually given it sight and he given it love. So that's why you can have it. So Shri Krishna is the form, eternal, existent, pure consciousness and infinite bliss. That's where we are aiming to go. Vishwa means universe, Utpatti is creation, Adi is so on and so on, so beginning, extension, he exists, extension, sustenance and dissolution. Cause, the way, and Shri Krishna is the cause of the creation, he's the maintainer, and he also, he's the dissolution of the universe is in his hands as well. Tapatra vinashaya, there's tap is suffering, affliction. Traya is 3, for destruction, vinashaya. 3 types of sufferings we have, tapatra, are adhyatmi, suffering caused by oneself, mental, physical suffering. Adibhutik suffering is caused by other human beings, or animals or the environment. That's adibhutik. And then the last one is adi devi, suffering caused by divine or cosmic forces, natural disasters, earthquake, diseases or anything like, or fate, Nasimalekwe type. So all those 3 are, Sri Krishna removes them for you, provided you surrender to him. You dedicate everything to him. Yeah? He is all capable, Sarva Samak. And then we say to Shri Krishna, Vayam, bow down, offer our salutations, we bow down to Shri Krishna. Shri Nathji is popularly known as Shri Govardhan Nathji. He's also known as Shri Dev Damanji, Shri Indra Damanji, and Shri Nag Damanji. Basically, that's names given to him during his Leelas. So the story of the appearance of Shri Nathji was originally narrated by Shri Gokul Nathji, who is the grandson of Shri Vallabhacharya, the 4th son of Shri Gosai-ji. He also is thought to be the reincarnation of Shri Mahaprabhuji. About 500 years ago, Shri Nathji appeared on Shri Giriraji in Chatipura. Shri Nathji appeared on this earth to uplift jeeves like us and bestow Anandhyana, provided you follow the rules, provided you study the Soras Granth. Soras Granth is beautiful. That's how you should live your life. Each and every Granth gives you a guidance. Navratna, if you got any anxieties. Vivek Dharya Ashray, wow, like you follow Vivek Dharya Ashray, your life is meant. Right? So I think these Granths don't only do recitation of the sloks, understand each one. At the moment I'm studying Chatusloki. Wow, Chatusloki is something, just 4 sloks, so easy to understand. I'll pick one slok here. But it's just telling you basically, if you surrender, you dedicate everything, and you believe that Prabhu is Sarva Samarthya, everything is made for you. You don't need to worry. Why are we worrying? If you're getting worried, do Navratna. There's your solution. Yeah? Yamnastan, for your grace. Prabhu will give you darshan through Yamnaji. Yamnaji is our mother and our Sakhi. So Mahaprabhuji has given us Yamnaji. Mahaprabhuji has blessed us and said, guys, you don't need to go and look for Shri Krishna. I'm giving you Shri Krishna in your home. Aren't we all we are so blessed. We really are. Mahaprabhu has done us the biggest krapa. He's given us Yamnaji and we got Thakurji at home. So we are graced. Really are graced. So what are we doing? We are not serving. We are not surrendering. We need to wake up. We need to learn the Soras Granth. Not just the sloks and recite the sloks, but understand what Soras Granth is and then move forward. And your life is meant. Really is. Okay, so Srinathji's Swarup, what do you see here? You see Radhaji on one side and Shri Krishna on the other. So Srinathji encompasses the Swarup of Shri Radhaji and Shri Krishna. So Srinathji is Radha Krishna. So Shri Krishna knew at the age of 11, he was going to leave Yashodaji. So he's very clever. He asked Yashodaji, Ma, your favorite Leela, which one of my Leela is your favorite Leela? So Yashoda Maya says, Lala, the uplifting of the Giraji. So then Shri Krishna says, Ma, I will bestow the Swarup of Shri Nathji, the uplifter of Giraji. And Shri Yashodaji was bestowed to serve Shri Nathji as the Swarup, because when Shri Krishna went, she was serving Shri Nathji. So in the village of Anyor, on the Sri Giraji, lived a Sadhu Pandit. He was a Gwal who grazed his cows on Giraji. One of his cows, Dumar, used to go out grazing with the rest of the cows and come back with very little milk and come back after all the other cows had finished. This continued for a while, and Sadhu Pandit thought that somebody was milking his cow or something was going seriously wrong. So what they decided to do is follow this cow up the Giraji and observe what's going on. So what they observed was that the cow was going right up to the top of the mountain, and through a gap in one of the shilajis, the cow was naturally giving milk, and they just wondered what was going on. So they went to investigate, and they saw a hen there. Eventually the hen appeared, and they wanted to know what was going on. So that it was Shri Nathji's hen. It was just one hen. So for many, many years, all the Brajvasis were praying to this hen for many, many years. They carried on praying. They were aware that this is like divine power. This is some sort of Devi Devta or Bhagwan, because the cow was giving it milk naturally and all that. After a few years, that's the picture of the cow giving milk, and both the Gwals finding out that the cow was giving the milk to the hand of Shri Nathji. So after a few years, Shri Nathji's left hand appeared, before we go further, let's look at what Shri Nathji is. Shri Nathji's left hand is calling all the Jeeves to his Leela, to come and serve him at the gates of his abode. And his right hand is a closed fist, which is keeping control of his devotees' minds and remain focused on Shri Nathji. So the Vrajvasis worshipped Shri Nathji's hand for many years. Shri Nathji finally revealed his face. He finally showed his face. At the same time, Shri Mahaprabhuji was born. So when Shri Nathji's face appeared, Shri Mahaprabhuji was born. So that was no coincidence, because Mahaprabhuji is Swamiji. Right? So on Mahaprabhuji's second parikrama, Shri Nathji came in his dream and said to him, I'm here, I'm in Giraji, come and meet me, come and see me. So, come quickly. So Shri Mahaprabhuji came to Giraji and stayed with Sadhu Pandey, who told him the cow's story, the Leela of the cow, and Shri Nathji. And as soon as Shri Mahaprabhuji heard this, he started climbing on Shri Govardhan Giraji. Suddenly, Shri Nathji appeared before him and blissfully greeted Shri Mahaprabhuji with a warm embrace. So that was the Pratham Milan. Thakurji and Shri Mahaprabhuji, first embrace. Shri Nathji asked Shri Mahaprabhuji to teach all the Vaishnavas the ways of performing seva. That's the Pratham Milan, Shri Nathji and Shri Mahaprabhuji. They met near the Tareti where the Mukharvin is at the moment in Giraji. Shri Nathji appeared in a dream to Puramal Satriya. This is Varta number 24 of Chaurasi Vaishnava. So Puramal Satriya, when Shri Nathji appeared to him, wasn't a Vaishnava, he had no Brahmasaman, he was just an ordinary person or whatever. But Shri Nathji appeared to him and said, Puramal, come up to Jatipura and build me a temple. So Puramal straight away made his way to Jatipura. He arrived at Jatipura and he met Shri Mahaprabhuji. Mahaprabhuji gave him Brahmasaman and asked him and gave him the blessing to start building the temple. So Puramalji, first day he was there, he worked 24 hours and he dug the foundation alone. He did the seva. He was very, very capable and very strong. And that was his body seva, Tanni seva. Right? He carried on building that, but after that it took nearly 20 years to complete the temple of Eli because he ran out of money. And he was trained as a jeweler, so he went and worked as a jeweler and made enough money to start building the temple again. The interesting fact here is the initial lot of money he had was his father's money. So Shri Nathji is like blessing him and saying, you've used up your father's money, now go and earn your own money and use it in my seva. So that's what he did. So he did and Dhanni seva. So that was his Dhan seva. And then with mind he was already doing it. So when you're doing seva, you do seva with Tan and Dhan, and with your Man as well. So you're doing seva with Tan, Man and Dhan. So this is one of the Soras Granth as well. Siddhanta Muktavali clearly says to you that you should do your seva with Tan, Man and Dhan. Right? If you do that, you're going to be really blessed. Then you're made, because you are then going to be blessed with doing seva with Mansi. Your Mansi seva will become Siddh. How does that happen? That only happens with Krupa, grace of God. Provided you've done your seva with Tan, Man and Dhan. Right? So the key is you need to do that. That's what Puramal did. He did seva with Tan, Man, Dhan. When the temple was completed, they did the Pat Utsav of Thakurji. Mahaprabhuji and all the Vaishnavas got together and Padrava Thakurji. And then Puramal went up to Shri Mahaprabhuji, bowed down to him, and Mahaprabhuji blessed him and said, okay, it's your wish. I know it's your internal wish to do seva of Srinathji with sandalwood paste, with Argaja. So Mahaprabhuji said, go ahead and do that. The moment Puramal Satri did that seva, he was blessed with eternal Mansi seva, Madhu Siddha Yuvenu. All he had to do was sit in one place and he was constantly in bliss. He was doing his seva in his mind all day long. He did not physically have to do anything. So that's what we all got to aim for, right? That's what Siddhanta Muktavali says. Siddhanta Muktavali clearly states the guidance, how you do your seva and all this. So this is another Soras Granth which we need to learn and see how we should be interacting with our Thakurji. What we should be doing on a daily basis with our Thakurji. Thakurji is going to be our number one priority, to be in bliss, to be in heaven, in our heaven, in our liberation. Thakurji comes number one. So whenever you're buying in the best, right? It's not for yourself, you're offering to Thakurji. But see how lucky we are. We're buying the best for Thakurji. We offer it to him and then we use it for ourselves. So we're using the best all the time anyway. And that's the beauty of it. So food, you buy the best. Clothes, you buy the best. Offer it to Thakurji and then you're using it. When you're spending the money, you're always taking his permission and spending. You are a trustee of Thakurji. It all belongs to Thakurji. You've taken drums someone, you've given it all to him. So why worry? Even if you lose it, it's not yours, it's Thakurji's. It's Thakurji's responsibility to look after you. He will find you a way to earn your money. So don't worry. Just patiently carry on being surrendered. Okay, so Puramal's Mansi Seva. This is the picture of the old picture of the temple in Jatipura. So Shri Mahaprabhuji started adoring, putting shingars on Srinathji, beautiful shingars, and then he had to go back on his parikrama because he had to bring Jeeves back to Srinathji and he had to start giving them Brahmasaman and bring them back to him. So he bestowed the seva onto Sadhu Pandeji. Sadhu Pandeji performed seva for many years and then passed into a Bengali Brahmin called Madhvendra Puriji. He did seva for 14 years. Now Madhvendra ji loved applying sandalwood paste to Srinathji. The thing is, he used to apply it like all around the year. And like sandalwood is supposed to be applied only during the summer season, not during the winter season. So Srinathji said, oh my God, I've got to really get this sorted myself. So he goes to Madhvendra Puri, look, go to South India sandalwood paste there is the best in the world, right? And the weather there is 12 months of sun. You go there, I'm going to be there in my Swarup as Him Gopal. You serve me there 24/7. And you can offer me the best sandalwood paste there. So that's how Shri Nathji came around to it. So whilst that happened, Shri Vittal Nathji, Sri Gosaiji, the second son of Sri Vallabhacharya, then started the seva and he elaborated the ways. He actually increased the vaibhav of Shri Nathji. He started doing seva with introducing kirtan, rag, bhog, offering special foodstuffs, and shringars, very, very special shringars. So then the seva went from one level to another. And that's the prakar of our seva at the moment. So that's why there's so much vaibhav and there's so much, not just the basics now at another level. That was Sri Gosainji's living. So, Ashtasakas. Without Ashtasakas, there is no Shri Nathji. Ashtasakas are Surdasji, who is Krishna Saka during the day and Champaklata Saki during the night. Kumandasji is Arjun Saka and Visakha Saki Arjun Saka during the day and Visakha Saki during the night. Parmanandas is Tok Saka during the day and Chandrabhaga Saki during the night. Krishna Dasji is Rishabh Saka during the day and Lalita Saki during the night. These are all four Sri Mahaprabhuji's seva, the original four. And then Sri Gosainji's seva, Govind Swami, Sri Rama Saka during the day and Bhama Saki at night. Chit Swami is Subal Saka and Padma Saki. Chit Swami was very, very naughty when he was young. He went to test Sri Gosainji. He bought a dummy coin and a bad coconut, and he said, let's go and test this guy. So he tested. This was, like Chobas taking the Mickey. So they thought it was mischievous. So they went up to Gosainji and said, let's see. They offered him the coconut and the coin. So Gosainji hit the coin and flipped it and showed him, wow, this is like a proper coin. Chit Swami says, my God. He did the nariyar on the floor and it opened and it had loads of water in it and it was a proper nariyar. Chit Swami was amazed. He just bowed down to Sri Gosainji and saying, I'm taking your blessings now. Please take me in your, give me Brahmasaman now. And he then became one of the Ashtasakas. Nandasji is Bodh Saka during the day and Chandra Rekha Saki during the night. Chaturbuddhasji is Vimla Saki during the night and Vishal Saka during the day. So during the day, they're with Shri Nathji as Sakas. During the night, they're with Shri Nathji doing all the Leelas as Sakis. So they're with him 24/7. These Sakas were then formed into an Astachap by Sri Gosainji. So that, Astachap is the 8 Sakas. Each one was dedicated to singing different pads at different darshan times. So they would sing different, there were 8 darshans during the day. So there were different pads being sang to Shri Nathji by the Ashtasakas. And they did loads of Leelas, loads of Shri Nathji Leelas together they did. They had some fun. Radhe Radhe. Are you guys all with us? Are you all following through, enjoying? Your Anand levels gone up a notch, I hope.
Yes.
Understanding. Any questions, anybody? Are we all okay? If you got any questions, please ask during the talk anytime. Okay, so there are infinite number of Shri Nathji's Leelas. It is said even the Odysseus serpent who has 1,000 mouths cannot fully narrate all of them. So there are like so many Leelas of Shri Nathji. Some of these Leelas are playing chopad with Rup Manjari, who was Nandasji's Saki and Sri Gosainji's Sevak, very passionate devotee of Shri Nathji. Shri Nathji was playing chess, Satrang, with Taj Bibi, the Emperor Akbar's wife. The Leela he did when he went to Totnagana, he took his Sakas to Totnagana. Totnagana is a forest with spikes and a very rough ride. But he had to go there because he had to do the Udar of a Pada who had come from the previous Janam and also to give darshan to one of the Vaishnavas called Nagava. So they all went through this forest on top of the on top of a bullock of a bull, because it was a rough terrain and all that. So Shri Nathji Virajwa on the bull, and the Sakhas went with him. And what happened is the Sakhas, their clothes were torn and they were so distraught that they actually Kumandas actually, there is a kirtan already where he's actually swearing at Shri Nathji. But only Sakhas can do that. We shouldn't do it till we are at a higher level. So that is one of the incidences where you hear that Shri Nathji was sworn upon, saying, "Why did you bring us here through all this trouble? We're so tired," and all that. But they didn't realize till after they went that Shri Nathji had a Leela to play. He had to do the Odar of the Pardo and also give Naga Baba the darshan. So whilst they were at Tot Nagana, they were all hungry, there's no food. So what they did is, there was kantolas growing in the forest, so they went on and picked the kantolas and made some syrup. So it was very basic, they made it, they offered it to Shri Nathji, and they all had prasad afterwards, and they did all the kirtans and parts. So this is the Leela of Tot Nagana. This is the picture of the Pardo and Shri Nathji going there, and the other picture is showing them preparing the samagri to offer Shri Nathji, and then having their kirtans and parts on the side. Shri Nathji used to frequently go to Shri Kumandasji. He loved Kumandasji. They were really very, very good friends. And Shri Nathji said to Kumandasji, "Come on, we haven't gone out stealing some martman from the gopis' houses." So they decided to go and steal the martman. So they were in the house, and one of the sakas was bent over. Shri Nathji was standing there on the sakas, pulling the pot from the pots were hung up so that the kids could go and get them easily. They knew, the gopis knew that Krishna and his friends would come and steal the martman, so they started hanging them up. So these guys were on top of each other and getting it. So while Shri Nathji was doing it, he had two hands pulling the pot down, and in the meantime, his pitambar sleeps. So he then produces his other two hands and pulls up his pitambar. And Kumandas sees it, saying, "Oh, I'm at the darshan of the forearm Shri Nathji." A few days later, Kumandasji had a younger son coming, and he called him Chaturguptasji. So this is where Chaturguptasji has got his name. Now the story with Chaturguptasji is a blessing, really. Kumandas was blessed with Chaturguptas because he was not having satsang with anybody. So Shri Mahaprabhuji blessed him to have Chaturguptasji. Chaturguptasji, at the age of 6 months or even less, used to talk to Shri Kumandasji on their own, and they were talking about Bhagavad Leela and all that at that young age. He was literally talking, and then when they come down again from their private quarters, they're all back to normal. He's like a little baby and all that. Chaturguptasji is one of the sakhas who had divine darshans with Gosainji. He was with Sri Gosainji's seva. He had the darshans of all the Leelas of Prabhu. Radha Krishna gave him the blessing of having the darshan of all the Leelas. So if you want a real experience and you want to really sit down and meditate, Chaturguptas's pads, in fact all Astasaka's pads, you should actually recite them. And now they're available in English as well. And if you don't want to recite, you can listen to them. They're available on YouTube and everywhere. They are divine. They'll actually, if you get deeper into it, you will really get closer to your Thakurji. And that's the bhav with which you serve your Thakurji. The Thakurji at your own home, listen to us, the sakas, absorb what's being said in there, and then sit down in front of your Thakurji and have that Leela with your Thakurji. Do the meditation of having that Leela with your Thakurji. Whatever pad you're doing, there's so many different pads. And you can do it per season or whatever. So that's the beauty of that. Okay, so another story of Shri Nathji is Vrajvasi loses his cow, and then he says, "Okay, if I find this cow, I will offer all my milk to Shri Nathji. All the milk that cow gives, I'll offer." So what Shri Nathji does is Shri Nathji loves playing these games, right? So he just pulls his long arm out and says to the cow, "Come on, go back to your gwal." So that went back, the gwal got his cow back, and then he started offering that milk on a regular basis to Shri Nathji. Shri Nathji's Leela read like a divine epic. So, I wish there were so many serials we could all watch on Shri Nathji's Leela. so we can keep away from this Netflix series and all other series we're watching. And we continually watch Shri Nathji's Leelas. There are millions. I think we all need to get together and start producing some of these Leelas. There's quite a lot around, but I think we should do more so that we're spending all our time watching the Leelas. Yeah, rather than watching all these series. We can convert them into much more entertaining. With AI and with social media at the moment, some of it is already happening. So I think it's a question of time before we get into that. So remain focused on that. Let's try and go there instead of getting into any of the Netflix or any other series. Let's try and pull ourselves into this area. And be in moksha forever. While we are living, don't wait to die. Why do you want to wait to die? Do it now. This is your time. We don't know what's going to happen after you die. Who knows? Do any of you know? We don't know. We know what's happening now. This is your chance. So do it. In the month of Ashwin, which is September, October, Shri Nathji started his journey from Jatipura to Mewar. He remained in Jatipura till Sri Gosainji was there. When Sri Gosainji decided to leave do his Leela, then Shri Nathji decided, okay, Gosainji is gone now, I'll go to Mewar. And along the way, he purified quite a few places. His journey from Jatipura began on a bullock cart, Shri Nathji's Rath, which is still in Nathdwara. So when you go to Nathdwara, you can darshan of the Rath. That is what a Rath looks like for whoever don't know what a Rath looks like, but I'm sure all of you here know what a Rath looks like. He communicated verbally only to Gangabai, one of the devotees of Sri Gosainji throughout the journey. So he would pass on messages through Gangabai as to what he wants to do and what he doesn't want to do. Shri Nathji stopped at 12 key places known as Charan Chokis. These 12 Charan Chokis are Shri Girraji, Satyagara in Mathura, in the gardens of King Suraj Pan's palace in Agra, on top of Dandot Door, Krishnapuri, which is nearby, Krishna Vilas, which is in Kota, Kishangarh in Rajasthan, Chopseni, Shri Nathji's temple in Udaipur, it's a lovely temple there, and Chinand, Gasyar, he stayed a long time there, and finally Nathdwara. So it took a long time, and his journey was good. All these places are still around. You can still go and see those places and see the Charan Chokis there. There's some really good darshans. So besides doing your Betakjis and your parikramas and all that, these are places. And there's some lovely places in Rajasthan nearby where you can have a good holiday as well. So this is the Rath, this is Gangabai and the other Vaishnavas, Shri Nathji traveling from Jatipura to Mewar. So Shri Nathji spent 7 years in Gasyar, a small town near Nathdwara. Shri Nathji arrived in Mewar in 1672 in Fagun, February-March time. Shri Nathji's Nathdwara temple was Ajabpuri Bai's palace. Ajabpuri Bai is Mirabai's sister. Very beautiful and a real staunch devotee of Sri Gosainji and a passionate devotee of Shri Nathji. She would not leave Shri Nathji alone. Varta number 98 of those of our Vaishnava for more details. Shri Nathji and Ajabpuri Bai would play chopad, the game of dice, regularly. Shri Nathji came every night from Jatipura, from the top of his temple, through the tunnel cave to Mewar. At the moment, if you take that journey, it's a 24-hour journey by car. You can go by train or you can go by plane to Udaipur and go there. It's a long way. So Shri Nathji used to go down this tunnel, play with Ajabpuri chopad every night, and then come back overnight. Today, the Leela is the other way around. Shri Nathji comes from Mewar to Jatipura every night. So when you do the same darshan, they do proper shingar of Viraji at the Mukhage, and you have a proper darshan, and that shingar darshan is absolutely beautiful. And when they decorate, when they do the shingars, it is like Shri Nathji. It really is. And they do different types of shingars every night and all that. It's darshan worth having for those of you who haven't had that darshan. So that is the Nathdwara temple, and Shri Nathji had promised Ajapuri Bai. I'll show you the picture. So this is them paying the chopat. This is Shri Nathji now leaving to go, and Ajapuri holding him, saying, "Please don't leave me now. Come on, I want to still play with you. We haven't finished our chopat game." And Shri Nathji says, "My time is up. I need to go." So then, while they're having the conversation, Shri Nathji promises her that I will come to Mewar when I'm ready. So I think that after about 100 and some years, that promise was kept by Shri Nathji, and he went to Mewar. So that was the reason he moved to Mewar. Pushti reason is that. There are other reasons as well, but Pushti reason is that. The other reasons is because of the Muslim rulers and that, this and the other, but I think there's always other sides to the story, right? So let's focus on this one. So then Shri Nathji also said that I'll remain in Mewar for 500 plus years, and then I'll come back to Jatipura. So now, whenever we go to Jatipura, all the Brajvasis there are waiting for Shri Nathji to come back. Seriously, they've already made arrangements, they already know places where they're saying this is where Shri Nathji is going to come back and all that. And the guys at Nathdwara are saying, "Oh, we've tied down Shri Nathji so much that he's not going to be able to move from here. So let's wait for the Leela. Hopefully it'll happen in our lifetimes." Okay, so we talk about surprise parties. 500 years ago, Shri Nathji introduced the surprise party. Shri Nathji goes to, Shri Nathji knows that Shri Gosaiji traveled to Gokul to perform Shri Navneet Priyaji's seva, his own Sevya Swarup. So he calls Ramdas ji in and says to Shri Nathji, Ramdas is ordering, putting shringars on Shri Nathji. And Shri Nathji said to Ramdas, "Ramdas, Kumandas, as you know, Kakaji is Gosaiji." And everybody used to call him Kakaji, so Shri Nathji started calling him Kakaji in love. And he said, let's celebrate a grand celebration for Kakaji, because he does this for my birthday, so I want to give him a surprise. So they decide, and the Vaishnavas, Kumandas ji and Ramdas ji and all that, rustled up some funds. They all got together like we do at the Haveli occasionally. We all make contributions to do an utsav and all that. And they all bought the ingredients to make some jalebi. They decided to make jalebi because Shri Nathji said Kakaji's swabhav is ras swabhav, is very loving. And like jalebi is very sweet, like when you put it in the sugar syrup. So let's make that. So they all went to make jalebi. And the next morning they offered the jalebi to Shri Nathji. And Shri Nathji enjoyed that. When Shri Gosaiji arrived, he saw so many jalebis all over the place, and he's saying, "What's happening today? Why have you offered jalebi?" So Ramdas says, "There's a special reason for offering so many jalebis, and the reason is, Vadaiho, Vadaiho, Vadaiho Yo Pragati Utsav." So this is the jalebi utsav. Shri Nathji. So I think we had this earlier on in January. We all did Shri Gosainji's jalebi utsav. So I thought it was a good leela to include in this. So all the Vaishnav heartily conveyed Vadai to Apshri. Apshri is Shri Gosaiji. You call Apshri when you are addressing any Valapur or whatever, you normally call them Apshri out of respect, or Jajashri. Shri Gosaiji and Sri Jibawa, Shri Nathji were very, very pleased. Okay, so that's the Jalebi Utsav. On Jalebi Utsav, what do we do as Vaishnavas? We celebrate Shri Gosainji's birthday by having a sacred bath ourselves. We offer Jariji and offer Dhoti Uparna to Shri Gosainji and some jalebis to Shri Gosainji. We do Kesari Astan, Aarti, and offer bed to Shri Gosainji's Swarup. And then we do Chanskas. These are the very basics we do. There is the celebration of the jalebis. Okay. Are we all okay? Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe. Okay. 16 divine qualities of Shri Nathji. Daya. It's very compassionate, very dayalu. There's so many stories in Chaurasi Dosobavan Vaishnav that shows how dayalu he is. Dharya. Very patient. Very, very patient. We are classic examples. Wake him up, 4 o'clock one day, 9 o'clock another. Someday you offer him mishri only, someday you offer him jalebi and mishri, someday do you proper. Patiently accepts everything you offer him. Because he's under instructions from Mahaprabhuji. Mahaprabhuji's got 4 promises from Shri Nathji. And one of the promises is that with your name, anybody who offers me anything with your name, I will accept. So when you do the bhog and you say, Shima Prabhuji Nikaniti Aragjo, he's got no choice but to accept it. So he's very compassionate. You know, even if your milk, you've forgotten the sugar, he accepts. You realize when you have it. Then do you add sugar to it? You shouldn't. Thakurji said it without sugar, you should have it without sugar. Yeah. Very forgiving, Shama, Nyay, justice, Nirpeksha. He has no expectations. He expects nothing from us. We are the ones who go and expect everything from him. Yeah? But we want to do his seva without expectations. Because he knows, he's Antaryami. He knows what to give you. He's giving you the best. Why do you want to ask for something? Don't ask for something because he might have a plan to give you something better than what you're asking. So don't ask. He knows what to give you. Anasat, detached. He's not attached to anybody. Yeah? He left everybody. He left his friends, his gopis in Raj and went. He left Dwarka to sing and left everything. When he went with nothing. It's completely anasat. Tapasvi, it's very, very tapasvi. He's done a lot of things. Aparajit, he's invincible, yeah, unbeatable. Very beautiful, Sundaram. Natvar, a skilled dancer. Gayak, talented singer. Pramanika, very honest. Sarva Kala Nirpun, master of all the arts. Nintaryam, self-control. Udar, generous. Adhyatmik Sakti, he knows all the spiritual powers. So there are his 16 qualities. Right? He's got everything. Sarva Samakya, fully Samakya. So what more do we want? Shri Nathji's Pitika at the back represents the cave of the Govardhan mountain. We offer betel nuts, Leelas, Chariji, Vichal, which is the water pitcher for Shri Nathji, and Bantaji, his snack box. The Pitika represents the 9 symbols and the 9 devotees as well as the Navda Bhakti. So the first one is a parrot, which is Kirtan. Second one is Rishi Muni, which is sage, Smaran Bhakti. Ghetu, ship, path 7, feet seva. Nag is Shravan, listening. 2 cows is Dasya. 2 sages, Rishi Munis again, Smaran again. Sheshnag, Vandan. Of course, the snake is always lying flat, always doing Vandan to Thakur. Lion is Sakya, friendship. Peacocks is Arjun. Okay, so Srinathji's Swarup is Swarup Atma, is Swarup Atma. And the Bhagavatam is Nam Atma, is the name Swarup. Srimad Bhagavatam describes 10 types of Srinathji's Leela. Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuram is Vangmai Swarup of Srinathji, the voice Swarup of Srinathji. 12 Mukhya Angs of Srinathji are the 12 chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam. What are the chapter 1, Pratham Skand, is the right foot and is the Adhika Leela. Chapter 2 is the Dvitya Skand, it's chapter 2, it's left foot and it's also Adhika Leela. Tritra Skand is chapter 3, right hand is Sharg Visharg Leela. Same with chapter 4 is also Sharg and Visharg Leela. Pancham Skand, chapter 5 is the right thigh, is Than and Poshan Leela. Same with chapter 6, left thigh, Chapter 7 is the right palm, Utti Leela. Chapter 8 is right breast, Manvantra and Ishunakatha. Same with chapter 9, Navamskar. This is the key. Chapter 10 is the heart, it's Nirodh Leela. And there is a Soras Granth, Nirodh Lakshana. Beautiful. It really is. That's another Granth we should all learn. It's all about love, love for Thakurji. What is your love for Thakurji? How your love should be for Thakurji, and all that. It's incredible. How you should be behaving when you're in front of Thakurji, how you should be behaving when you are away from him, how you should be miss him, how much you should miss him, and what is true Nirodh. True Nirodh is not thinking about Thakurji's Leela when you're away from him and his Viprayog Leela. True Nirodh, true love is when he's not with you, you're still feeling him like the gopis did. Gopis never said Shri Krishna had gone away from them. When Uddhavji went, he was shocked. He says, like, Krishna lives in our heart. He's here. Chapter 11 is head. It's Mukti Leela. And finally, Ashray Leela, total surrender is chapter 12. So when we're listening to the Bhagavatam, when J.J. Shri is doing Bhagavatam here, we're listening to him. It's Shri Nathji's word through Mahaprabhuji. J.J. is Mahaprabhuji's swarup. Shouldn't miss that opportunity whenever he's doing the Bhagavatam. We should all go and listen, because literally you're getting Shri Nathji in his words. Shri Nathji loves cows. Why does he love cows? Why do we love cows? Because all the Devis and Devtas reside within a cow. So when you feed a cow, you're feeding all the Devis and Devtas. Serving and caring for cows is the same as serving all the Devis and Devtas. Cows are humble, very humble. Shri Nathji loves cows. He has 900,000 cows. I haven't got 900,000 names, but I've got some of them here. They are Kajar, Dumar, Majiti, Gangi, Sushila, Pyari, Dumri, and Nand. There's a huge Goshala in Barsana. I don't know if any of you guys have been there. Mataji Goshala, Ramesh Baba runs it. There are about 80,000 cows there. It's worth a visit. If you want to experience what the number of cows are, how to look after cows, and how that Goshala is run, it is in a complete different level. And they've got people who are doing sevas there who are qualified engineers, and they're walking around in their lungis, and you're seeing them doing all the sevas and all that. And they're managing this big, huge project without any expectations at all. True cow seva. And this guy, who I know, and I go and see him every time we're there, he's after me to go there. They've actually built UK-style flats there, and he's just saying, come and stay here and come and help us run this Goshala. And I think one day, if I'm blessed enough, I think I'll go and do that. I'll just go and do the seva with them. It's a complete different experience. Even when you spend a day, you get so attached. So can you imagine going there and doing this seva forever? And you know what? I asked him a question. I said, how do you manage 80 to 90,000 cows? Each cow is about 30 pounds a day, right? You need 30 pounds a day to look after a cow, including feed and everything. And they've got 80 to 90,000 pounds. And you know what? At one stage, he used to have the accounts and books and everything, and we go through that. Now he says, I've left it to Radharani. Because it's Barsana, they are big time in Radharani's worship and all that. And everything just happens naturally. Every day, everything is just carrying on. And they just manage to look after them. They have loads of cows coming in every day. It's worth an experience if you're in Barsana. You must go and see. Okay, so this is Krishna with the cows. How are we doing for time? Okay, Srinathji's Charan Chins, very powerful. If you recite the Charan Chins, it's a different world. This was my first lesson I did at the Haveli. When Mehul Bhai kindly invited me to do my first lesson, I did it on the Charan Chins. They are very powerful. I'm going to quickly run through the Charan Chins. There are 16 Charan Chins. Each one has a unique benefit for reciting every day. Like if you did Dajaji, you become fearless. I'm telling you this from experience, by the way. I know all 16, I do them every day. And I've seen a change since I've been doing it for 5 years. I've become fearless, I don't get very afraid. When I'm doing my transactions with my business colleagues, I deal with big companies like Procter & Gamble. Before I did that, I was very nervous. My approach to them was very humble, polite and all that. Now, if I see something which I don't think is right, I speak out. And I have a lot of respect for that. This only started to happen to me after I did the challenges. So that is one example. And I only did that about 3-4 years ago when I did the satsang. I recited them and then I was reciting them every day and my nature changed. So I'm telling you from personal experience. So Gajaji, Ankush, Vrajra, Swastik, Udvarekha, Kamal, Kalash, Ashtakon, Jav. And the 7 chins on the left, Vam, Charan, are Matsya, Dhanush, Trikon, Gopad, Akash, Adar Chandra, Chamufa. Each one has a different benefit. So if you remember each one and each benefit, you actually do it daily and you will see the change coming in. So on Friday the 23rd, which was last Friday, we had Vasant Panchami. So let's now quickly touch on Vasant Panchami. It's the 5th day of Shukla Paksh, month of Magh, which was this year on the 23rd of January. The Pushti way. What's the Pushti way? We sanctify a kalash. So we have a kalash. There is a kalash there. Clean it, we pray to it, and there's a specific way you can sanctify it. We then fill the kalash with water and decorate it with stems of trees, mango leaves, and all that. You can see it there, flowers, wheat grass, and berries. And why do we do lotus? Because Saraswati and Kamdev are 2 devs who are associated with Vasant Panchami. One is to do with knowledge and all the arts and skills, and Kamdev is love. So when you do this pujan and all that, so you ask Kamdev to bless you, to give you that power of love towards your Thakurji, not towards anything lowkey, not towards your partners or to your children or whatever, to Thakurji. That's what you're doing here. Then you place the colors in front of Thakurji. The Vasant color symbolizes your love for our Shri Thakurji. Offer our Shri Thakurji the Utsav Bhog, which comprises of cup-shaped sweets, dry and fresh fruits, and some pan. Kalash put in front of Thakurji, branches, stalks of different leaves, flowers of various types. You can see the picture there, and you can see the actual kalash there. We had that on Friday here in the Haveli. So. And this is the beginning of Vasant. That you can see being offered in front of Thakurji there. So what happens? Vasant Panchami is Shri Thakurji's Khel Leela for 40 days. So this is the 40 days Leela. We offer the chadis, floral chadis. So we make floral sticks to offer Thakurji, and we offer garlands to our Shri Thakurji. This is what you do at home. You prepare, make different chadis every day and offer it. We offer different malas. We tie tender mango shoots and flowers on the Shihasana of Thakurji and drape them with white pichwai behind it. Shri Thakurji experiences shram while playing in the Khel Leela. When he's playing, obviously he gets tired and all that. So we offer Utsav Bhog. We offer different bhogs, Utsav, sweets and all that. And we also blow the conch. Khel Leela symbolizes the romance between Shri Thakurji and the gopis. We depict Shri Krishna's Kishore Bhav. So Kishore Bhav is when Thakurji has now become a teenager. It's at that level. So during these days, that's the bhav we have. And we offer Thakurji different kinds of pads during the 40 days. Every day we offer different one. The Chariji offered to our Thakurji symbolizes Shri Yamunaji's bhakti. We remember Shri Yamunaji while we read it. Rupani Devi, she's our Rupani. The Khel Bhog Thali depicts Yasoda Ma's motherly love. So when we're offering the Bhog, that's with the Kani of Shri Yasodaji and Mahaprabhuji. So 40 days we cover the Jarijis and the Khel Bhog with white cloth. Another thing we do is we cover Thakurji's divine feet with white cloth. As during Thakurji's Khel Leela, the focus we are nurturing is we are doing Sakha Bhav. We are not doing Sharanagati, right? So we are not doing Das Bhav. We are his friend during these 40 days. So he plays with us as a friend, is our Sakha. So we move away from surrender and become friends. The Sakhis during these 40 days are Lalita ji, Chandravali ji, Sri Yamuna ji, Sri Swami ji. They all participate in Krishna's Khel Leela with different bhavs. Let's look at them now. The youths are Sri Swami ji's youth, the group of gopis in Swami ji, Sri Chandravali ji's youth, Sri Lalita ji's youth, and Sri Yamuna ji's youth. And first 10 days, we do Vasant Khel, just gently put colors on Thakurji on that. This is Satvik Bhav. Second day, 10 days is Damar Leela, Rajasic, a bit more, don't think aggressive, a bit more fun, right? Fag Khel is Tamasic. And the fourth is Sri Yamuna ji's Nirgun Bhav. So these are the four, 40 days, each 10 days, this is the Bhav with which we are doing the Khels. Let's, during this time we are offering Thakurji Gulal, Abir, Choa, Chandan, Kesar, and we are sprinkling on Thakurji with different bhavs of each of the Sakhis. So we have that bhav. So let's have a reflection now. Shri Thakurji's Khel Leela begins with Suksham Bhav, gently. Gently we go in, right? Quietly. Gradually we increase the intensity to a crescendo, and through this beautiful Leela, Shri Thakurji says to us, life is not all about intellect. It's not about intelligent living, responsibilities and challenges. Life is meant to be celebrated too. Pushti Maharaj is Utsav Pradhan, right? Let's have Utsavs regularly. Let's have fun with Thakurji. Different seasons, let's have different fun with Thakurji. Let's be in Moksha now. This is the time to be in Moksha with Thakurji. Don't wait. Don't wait to be ill. Don't wait to die. Do it now. We don't know what's going to happen before, after we die. So let's do it now while we're living. Consciously create time for fun, frolic, and laughter too, and make it a point to experience the richness of each emotion that deeps through your heart. Emotion with Thakurji, please, right? Make sure Thakurji starts residing you. For you can forge a deep bond of bhakti with Thakurji, with me, through the various aspects of your love too, right? So Thakurji is in all our hearts now. Shri Nathji Baba is now in all our hearts. We are all in bliss, we are all in Anand. Our Anand level started at, I don't know what yours was, but it's now gone to 10 out of 10. We are 100% there. So Shri Nathji, by following this now, we all got Shri Nathji in our eyes. So now let's all try and implement some of this in our lives and take it forward from where we are. If we got a time for Vakyam Bode? Yasodhana kya mampu? English Mangata. Vakyam Bode Shri Nathji Sukha Seva Kare Shri Pagana Devalo Jarakasine Sundara Vagasa Pakaje Chitranganam Sajyate Soreshanga Kesari Tilaka Sohamana Rashika Vishwata Chibukarni Adhikanti Che Kaklemoti Arpache Irado Jagamage Enate Jatano Manaipa Adarami Asikache Jagete Jota Prakash Bhai Vajui Bandave
सेवा करे हे श्री गोकुल नाहु.
Let's quickly run through what that kirtan means in English. Shri Nathji's hair is gathered in a graceful bun, his complexion a radiant hue of mid-pigment. Shri Gosainji, son of Shri Vallabh, offers his devoted service to the Lord of Gokul. The beloved adorns himself in represent robes with a tightly wound turban, elegant and bright. A scarf of 5 vibrant colors graces his form as he glows with 16 kinds of divine jewels. A saffron tilak graces his sacred robe, his nose the pillar upon which the universe rests. A brilliant diamond sparkles on his chin, chibuk, while strings of pearls adorn his graceful neck. His lips, rich and luminous, shine with divine nectar. His curly locks cascade in celestial beauty. His upper arm gleams with a jewel bracelet, a vision so mesmerizing, eyes cannot turn away. Even Seshnag, with 1,000 tongues, cannot sing of his infinite glories. In his left hand, he lifts Shri Giraji, while his right hand rests on his waist. O Shri Nathji, bless me with your grace and soothe my longing heart. His anklets chime in divine melody. Pearls adore the sacred shoes he wears. O glorious Shri Nathji, hear Madhav Dasi's plea. Grant me the boon to dwell forever in Braj. Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you for the satsang. Thank you for letting Shri Nathji enter your heart today with me. I'm sure he was present with us here today because he's present at every satsang we do. And we've been graced with Shri Mahaprabhuji, blessing of Shri Bhagyashalji that we're all here. So today Ashray Nopad is not Rati, it is Shri Vallabh Prabhu. This part is by Sri Haraiji, who's there. Shri Govardhan Nath ki jai, Shri Radharan ki jai, Shri Gopal Pyare ki jai, Shyam Sundar Shri Maharani ki jai, Shri Dwarkesh Pyare ki jai. Any questions? Anybody want any clarifications or whatever? Now or whenever you're ready up here.
Thank you very much.